All right, a couple of the key clashes looking forward to this weekend, Gus. I'm going to start you on this one. We spoke to Big Papa up against Big Payne, who we're expecting to play despite the lack of training. Two of the best in the business at the peak of their powers at the moment as well.
Yeah, look, I've applauded the selection of Josh Papali'i because there's never a bad time to bring experience into State of Origin, particularly in a decider. And I think just a one-off game like this where he can just go out there for the first 25 minutes and let it all go. Now, you can't compare him to Payne Haas. They're two completely different sorts of players, but whoever gets the control of the advantage line early in the piece, both with attack and with defence, could well set up the foundation of the win for either side. So I think Big Papa has come in specifically with that purpose to own the advantage line. He's hard to tackle. He bends them back. You can't bend him back. If you can get that quick play of the ball and get him going forward, even win a penalty because someone's trying to get square on him, you just never know what Papa can provide. Payne Haas, we know what he's going to provide. Yeah. If New South Wales win, he could well be the player of the series.
As soon as he was brought back in, though, as soon as he was spoken about, I said straight away, they brought him back to get Payne straight away. Because Payne, game one was unstoppable. Yeah. Second half, game two was pretty good as well. And I think if he plays the way we know he can play, he'll be unstoppable again. But Papa, he's a bloke who fears no one. He'll be going after him. I can see it. It's going to be an outstanding battle up front. And as you know, Smithy, whoever wins that battle in the middle of the field goes a long way to win the match. They might not score the points, but it goes a long way to win the match.
Yeah, well, it's the old saying, Gal, isn't it? It's one in the middle, and the boys out wide decide by how much, right? But I can't wait for this one, Big Papa versus Payne Haas. If they can find the matchup defensively, if they can get Papa in front of Payne Haas, because Payne Haas likes... They've used him effectively in Origin this year in the first two, where they get him a little bit wider, like a two-pass out wide, and they hit around the edges. So they aim around the Maroons' halves, get quick play of the ball. He builds momentum, and they like to play a lot of positive football off the back of his play of the balls. If they can get Papa out in front of him, just to slow him up a little bit and just take away that momentum, it may help the Queenslanders early on. He's going to hopefully take the sting out of Payne Haas's effectiveness early. He's not going to play the minutes of Payne Haas. Payne Haas will probably play, 65, 70 minutes on Wednesday night. Papa won't punch that out, but if he can take the sting out of his early runs, I think that'll go a long way to Queensland playing well.
It's the age-old conundrum, the irresistible force and the immovable object.
That's it. That's the one.
I like that.
Who wins?
A couple of them out there. I can't help but think about this place being a sea of blue and Spencer Leniu just walking up and down the sideline, eyes spinning, just waiting for his opportunity to get out there. Once he sees those two going head-to-head, this guy's going to want in.
Wow. Yeah, he's been up and about, Spencer, hasn't he, all series? And he went after Lindsay Collins on that hit up over in Perth. He had a couple of tough carries. He went over to the side where Queensland said, hey, that's where we're kicking off.
Bring it.
Whoever they line up there, that's where we're kicking. It doesn't matter. So he went over there and he took it to the Maroons. So, yeah, it's going to be great to see.
It's been a bit of a trend to pick these players, too, that are very, very explosive. They like to blow it out as quickly as they can, get out there and make a big impact straight away.
Yep.
My concern is always what happens if there's a couple of HIAs, a couple of injuries early in the game and someone's got to be out there for 70 minutes who doesn't play like that. Yep. Origin can find you out very, very quickly. So, you don't want to spend it all in the first couple of runs just in case they get a tap on the shoulder and say, you're here for the rest of the game, mate. Keep going.
From the hard workers in the middle to the guys that do decide how much. Gal, on paper, you look at some of these matchups in the centres. Shibasaki v. that man on screen, Crichton. Toya up against Latrell. So on paper, it looks one-sided from an experience and a watch-you-know sort of factor over time.
Yeah, I agree with that, but Origin does different things to people, as you know. I think Stephen Crichton will be a little bit disappointed in his game from game two. I thought he was a little bit quiet. I didn't get a lot of opportunity, to be fair, but was probably a little bit quiet, so I got a feeling he's going to want a real big game. He's been absolutely outstanding for the Dogs this year. Terrific leader. I've seen him at the Blues training, how much he leads the Blues at training alone. I think he's an outstanding talent, and I think he's going to be up for a big game. Latrell Mitchell, as you know, absolute superstar, up against a couple of young guns who are going to be out there doing their best. But obviously I'm backing the Blues, and I think if they get any sort of space, any sort of opportunity, they have the ability, hands down, to make the other two pay.
Yeah, and I think that's where the Blues coaching staff will probably feel they have an advantage, is in those two centre positions. So don't be surprised if you see some early ball going wide. Just to give Crichton and Latrell just some quality early ball, let them do their thing. and test out those two, rookie centres for the Maroons.
Is that what you'd be doing, Gus?
Yeah, I've got no doubt that Shibasaki's been brought in because he's a big body and they've had trouble with Crichton, particularly close to the line. There's a couple of games where he's muscled his way towards the in goal.
Yep.
He's given Hamaso a bit of grief on this side of the field a couple of times with charges and runs, and he's a big gangly thing and very hard to handle. So they've thought that the big body of Shibasaki just might be able to contend with that and bring Hammer at the back. Having said that, if Shibasaki solely concentrates on what Crichton is doing and solely marks up on him, I think there's some opportunities inside that New South Wales might exploit. So for Shibasaki to be coming this level, to make the right decision in defence every time, if he concentrates solely on Crichton, then I think that maybe they could finesse something around him on the inside there that might work for him. But it's a great show of confidence in the young fella to come in and mark Stephen Crichton in this game.
After leading Penrith to 4 straight premierships, Cameron, it gets thrown around a lot that Nathan Cleary, who we know is going to have an amazing legacy as a rugby league player, needs to dominate on the Origin stage to ensure that legacy. Do you buy into that chat? And is it Wednesday night here on his home patch in August?
Oh, not really, to be honest. Not really. I think Nathan's done plenty in the game that most players haven't done. I think being a part of 4 consecutive premierships is almost unheard of, really. You've got to go way back in the history of rugby league to find any team that's been able to achieve that feat, and he's been at the forefront of that for the Panthers. There's some debate around has he dominated at this level. It's always, when you get to this level, when you get to the elite level of playing representative football, whether it's for state or whether it's for country, it's always the goal to be a guy that goes out and really controls the game for your team. Nathan's played a strong hand for New South Wales in the past in series victories and in individual games. So I don't really know if, whatever way it goes on Wednesday night, I don't know if it really changes his legacy at all.
Well, he's already won
Really?
series. He's already won series and won 4 premierships. I just think when you're talking immortality, when you're talking about Andrew Johns as an immortal, we've seen Joey own this arena. We've seen you own this arena. I'd love to see him go there and own it. I really would. Look, whether it's going to change his legacy, I don't think it'll change his legacy. Hopefully he's an immortal anyway, but I'd love to see him go and really own an Origin game.
Yeah, not at this age they weren't. And that's with all due respect. It's when they were much older than what Nathan has been in Origin so far. And he's only just getting to that age now. Even the greats of this game were in their late 20s, early 30s when they were really commanding that sort of respect and controlling Origin games. Nathan's still only 27 going on 28. I mean, come back to me in 5 years' time and I'll show you how many games he's dominated in that time. He's still getting towards the peak of his career yet he's achieved so much already. I do know personally, though, that he will really want to see this one as a win this on Wednesday night. He was out here long after his teammates tonight, kicking on his own and just going through his mental visualisation that he likes to do before the game. So he'll see this as special, but his best is still in front of him, unfortunately for Queensland.
Just a little, I like it.